Hello. Alright, God is here. I hope you all are doing well and having an abundant day. May this message resonate with you, and may you be able to discern and have the wisdom and the guidance that you need to get what is needed out of this message. Remember that our soul, our spirit always know the truth, whether consciously we know it or not. May this be a message that resonate with you and that can guide you in the way that you need to be guided today. So let me pull the first card. It says surrender. Surrender. It's a beautiful card. It says sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest to stop trying to control the whole universe. So it's surrendering. We're surrendering to the ego, surrendering to the reality, surrendering to trying to control everything, and letting go and letting the divine come within our mind and our bodies and our souls and speak to us, whether in meditation, whether in yoga, whether in exercise, or whether in journaling, whether even within this message, letting the divine speak to us and to let us know that, everything is okay, and to trust, to really trust and not let the ego get in the way of everything. The ego can seem true, but the ego is just you being in your own way, and surrendering and allowing the divine to really come into your life and have and guide you with the right actions is a beautiful thing. So surrendering. So someone may need to surrender. Someone may need to follow that guidance from the divine. Someone may need to go within and ask the divine, how do I surrender? Even if you don't know how to surrender, there's may be someone out there who's needing to surrender and may just need to ask the question because they may not know how to surrender. How do I surrender? How do I surrender? And trust the way that you're guided to surrender is the right way. And know that it's just not one time. So try not to give up on yourself or doubt yourself when you do it. Just even if you do it one time, ask many of times so that you can continue on that and trust in it each and every time. And let the ego not tell you what is, and let the divine tell you what is. Surrender to the reality, surrender to the situation, surrender to any obstacle, not situation, but obstacle. Surrender to what has you worried, whatever stress have you worried, whatever is currently going on that you feel like that is just you trying to control and it's out of control. Let the divine control it. It's in the divine's hands. So please surrender. On this picture is a woman. She's just standing, and she has her head back. She has her hands back, and she's just surrendering. Just look, it's birds around her. It's leaves around her. It is there's a sun, and then there's a bird within the sun. That's a beautiful sight too. It's the sun, then the bird, and then the woman. She's standing with her head back and her arms back, and she's just surrendering. Just surrendering, because when you surrender, you just let go. You let go, and you let go, and you really have to trust. You gotta let go of that ego. Letting go of that ego. It may be hard. It may be challenging. But it's important to, especially when you're on a spiritual path, on this spiritual journey, as you're awakening, as you're going through life, as you're following this spiritual path, the ego cannot go with you. The ego cannot go with you. And I know we wanted to. I know that we wanted to, and we feel like it's we can thank the ego for where it's brought us, because the ego is really some sort of it tries to protect us from all type of things. It tries to put us in that survival mode just we're wanting to survive through the situations, and it always have to be in control, and always have to have the logic of it. But when you walk in a spiritual journey, as you walk this spiritual journey, you'll learn that a lot of logical things it's like going against the spirit. It's like you're going against yourself when you allow the ego to try to control things, because a lot of this stuff is really unknown. A lot of life is really unknown. Our spirit knows, our inner guidance knows, our inner divine knows, but worldly, it's unknown. And that's why the ego, it can't go with you. And that's why it's so important to surrender, especially on this spiritual journey. Listen, I've picked it out. I will surrender. And if you're having a hard time, trust me, I understand, because there's been times I surrender, and I surrender to the fear, I surrender to the obstacle, I surrender to the stress, and guess what? I'll pick it right back up. Not really trusting. Letting the ego try to pick it back up and be in control. Trust me, I know. Because we're wanting things to go our way. We want to trust. We want to trust we want to trust, but when we don't see it, we start to panic. But we got to understand, when this stuff is spiritually going on, what's spiritually going on is energetically going on, and it's unseen. And that's where faith come in. That's where faith come in, and allowing that faith. This is happening on a whole nother realm, on a higher realm that we cannot even see. We know inwardly, if we really tap in and let the spirit guide us, we know inwardly there's some stuff going on in the spiritual realm that I have no idea of, that I know deeply, but consciously, just because I don't see it, it's hard for me. It can be challenging for someone to allow it. But it goes on. So for someone who's surrendering and having trouble surrendering, please know you're not going to see it outwardly soon. You're not going to see everything just get better. Just you will feel better. But with the ego, there's a little logical things that come in there. So there's some material things that we're so materially, we want to see things, right? But in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world, things are just different. Things happen energetically before it gets brought materially. It happens within before it gets brought outwardly. And that's the point that I'm really trying to make. So the whole point is, please don't get discouraged just because you're not seeing it outwardly yet. It takes time. And as soon as you let that ego in, you try and do your best not to let to drop it, to pick it back up. Oh man, this happened. Let me pick back up the stress. Let me pick back up the fear. Please leave it where it is, and please trust in divine, and please know that it is working. It has to make its way to you. You have to be in alignment. You have to be patient. You have to go within. You have to sit still and meditate each and every day. You have to do what is necessary so that you can have that faith. Maybe you just need the faith. Maybe you surrender, but you just don't believe it. Have the faith and really trust. Please trust. Where has the divine showed up for you in your life? Where you just thought, how could this have even been possible? And continue to think back on that situation and know, if the divine showed up for me here, if the divine showed up for me in these areas, the divine is going to show up for me in this area. I just got to trust it. And I'm just on a different path. I'm thinking differently now. In the past, I was unconscious of this. Now I'm trying to become conscious of everything that's going on. Spiritually conscious about this. And I'm thinking and I'm seeing things differently. So now that you're aware of it, now you're like, okay, where is it? But that's where the patience come in. Because now you know better. I'm not going to say now you know more. I'm going to say you know more. But now you have to really trust it. This is where the faith really kicks in. But if you need to, just go back on situations where the divine has showed up for you And know if the divine showed up for you there, the divine is going to show up for you here. It's happening energetically, and it has to, and it's going to come to you. You just have to allow it. It has to come to you, though. It has to. It has to. Whatever you wanting, whatever you needing, whatever you want to let go, whatever you wanting to, see. If this inner work that you're doing and you really want that work and you really want it to show externally, through you, it's going to show. You really just have to believe it and trust in the divine. Set the ego aside. It's done what it's needed to do. The ego has done what it's needed to do. Thank you. You can thank the ego. Thank you, ego, for wanting to protect me along this way. I'm going to surrender and give it to the divine. Thank you so much for helping me throughout this journey, for trying to protect me throughout this journey, for protecting me throughout this journey. I'm going to allow the divine now to be in control. The ego, I do not need you anymore, right? I don't need you right anymore. That's when I was unconscious. I'm conscious. I'm spiritually conscious now. So the next card I'm going to pull is change. It says, when the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. Wow, this is just backing up the surrender card. It says, when the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. So that's when you let go of that ego, you find it's a whole nother path for you. It's a whole nother understanding. It's a whole different type of energy you're in, and you'll understand that through the sacredness, through you sitting through meditation, how sacred it has become with the divine, and you're like, just having that faith is grounding you. The process it took for you, that spiritual process that it took for you, is the faith, and that's what's grounding you, and that's what's allowing that change within. And that's how it becomes sacred. It's no more controlling of the ego. It's allowing the divine. It's allowing that divine change. Not the ego's change, but the divine change. And when you're able to sit in it, and when you're able to let go of the ego and the madness of the ego, you allow yourself to sit still with the divine, and that's how it becomes sacred for you. That's a sacred time for you. Meditation is a sacred time for you with you and divine. Prayer is a sacred time for you with you and divine. Even exercising and doing other things, that's a sacred time for you. So when you allow that sacred time, you creating your own path. This path for you, your higher path for you, it's not no one else's path. It's your own path. It's your own sacred time and energy and alignment within you, within the divine, if that makes sense. So change, allow that change. Surrender and allow that change of the ego. The ego is going to want to go crazy. The ego is going to want to control everything. But the ego cannot go with you on this new journey. The ego cannot go with you on this new path. It's just like the old video, in the video below, when I'm talking about letting go of the old and bringing in that new. It's not just with friends, family, and things or places. It's with your own self. It's with your own emotions. It's with your own feelings. It's with your own energy. It's within you, really, first, before anything externally really has to go. Well, some people gotta. I can say that some things externally do go first. In reality, some things, people, places, things do go first before you're able to allow that. So allow that change. Allow the ego to I don't want to say be buried, because the ego definitely served its purpose. But as you've grown, you know. So allow the ego to go back to the energy. Go back to the energy where it came from, and send it back with love. I send you, ego, back with love to the energy wherever you came from, whether it was dark or it was light. I send that back with love. I send the ego. You know what? We're going to surrender the ego with love. I surrender you with love. Thank you for all that you've done for me. I do not need you anymore. I'm allowing the divine. I'm no longer trying to control my life. I'm allowing the divine to come in my life. And that's beautiful. The next card is allowing. It says radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. It's allowing the divine to come in, to move in your life so the right actions can be made. Allowing that change, surrendering, allowing that change to come to be, and so that what's needed can come next. You know, you're allowing all this to happen, so what's needed in your life can come next, and so nothing can get in the way of it. See, with having that ego, there would have been some things that would have gotten in the way. The ego would have gotten in the way. But when you accept this change, when you accept letting go of the ego, when you accept your own evolution, when you accept this sacred time with divine and allow what is necessary in your life, what's needed can come. When you surrender and let go and let this change come in your life, you're allowing what's needed to come into your life. Because guess what's not in the way and stopping you anymore? It's that ego. And it's time to trust. Trust in the divine now. Allow the divine now. Allow that path to be you opening up so many doors now. You've opening, you notice that you've opening up your heart. You're opening up your mind. You're opening up your energy. And you're allowing the divine. When the ego is gone, you're allowing the divine to come in and move in your heart, in your mind, in your energy, in your life. And that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. I'm going to pull one more card. It says inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to the deepest needs and feelings. So allow yourself to give compassion to that little one. Surrender, let go, and allow that change in your life. Allow that sacred time that you need with the divine, so that you can have that acceptance allow that acceptance that is needed for your life to change for what's coming next. And within all of this, give that compassion to that inner child. In this time, as you're letting go of the ego, that inner child is going to be wondering what is going on. That inner child is going to be needed the compassion, love. It's going to be needing to be taken care of. It's going to be needing the healing and the strength and the unconditional love that you have for you. So going within and loving it, loving the inner child and allowing yourself to love every bit of you as you're going through this spiritual awakening, as you're going on this spiritual journey, as you're surrendering, as you're changing, as you're doing all this, and also loving on that inner child, being with that inner child, caring for that inner child. As this process is going, you're making sure you're doing all of that step by step, because it's important. Let's not neglect the inner child. Let's not neglect the inner child within this. Let's not do it with resistance. Let's let it go and allow. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Yes, you want to attend to the deepest needs and feelings as much of your inner self, of your inner child as much as possible. If you don't know how, ask the divine, how can I attend to that inner child? How can I heal that inner child? How can I allow the right compassion, the true compassion for that inner child in my life? And just going within and trusting the answer that the divine gives you. Trusting the answer that the divine gives you. So we're gonna, to make this, to wrap everything up, the cards, we have surrender, change, allowing, and inner child. So it's surrendering, letting go, letting go, and allowing the divine to whatever whatever situation you may be going through, the hardest situation, the toughest situation, whatever, allow the divine to take over that and help you through that, and allow that change. Sit within yourself, sit still, and allow that sacred time with the divine, so the change can happen, so that you can get through even the most toughest times in your life, so that the divine can help you be who you need to be, because we're letting go of the ego here. I was trying to say the words in the way that it need to be said. Allow the divine to give you what's needed. And as this is going on, make sure that you're giving compassion to that inner child and loving every inch of that inner child. I hope this message resonated with someone. May you're able to really be guided to what you need to do next in your life. Allow the divine. Allow yourself. Let go of the ego. Surrender it all. And give yourself that compassion, that your inner child, that compassion that it needs to get to the next level. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have a great day. Sending over some peace, some love, some light. Sending it through the wind, and I hope that you get it through the wind today. Thank you so much. Have a great day.